everybody. Welcome to Midnight Live. It's good to see everybody. And I just want to say hi to Candy, too, who's going to be my right arm woman helping me with the questions today. And she'll be joining us at the end because we have a big question to answer. Before we get started and get everybody in the room, I just want to say thank you for being here. And that I also wanted to let everybody know, if while you're entering, can you please put in the comments one word of how you're doing today? How are you feeling today? Just one word. So I'm going to give everybody a minute and say hello to the people coming in. Hi to Blue Jean, and hi to Sacred Key Codes, and hi to Alessandra. And anyway, everybody just take a minute and put in your word for the day, and we will go from there. Okay. So, grateful, concerned, stressed, curious, calm. Yeah, because there's a lot of, and I apologize for my voice because I don't know what it is about every Easter holiday. I always get worried about getting sick over Christmas and New Year's. No, it's always Easter. So, but I got the message that it was really important for us to get together today. And so whether I'm kind of scratchy or not, I want to be here because I think there's a lot coming at us this week. And I think we can be prepared to handle that if we start off the week together. So, and I'm gonna bring up a word. And Candy, if you want to jump behind the scenes now, and then I'll back out. And this word that I got before the show, I always try to get what's a word or a message for our show today. And this was the word that I got for the time frame that we're in right now, which was not what I was expecting. And so when I asked more about it, I got, not only is this an opportunity for all of us to look at, the blind spots that we've seen in our world and in our country, but it's also this. And this will be a topic that we'll be going over a little bit later and reading on. But I think that it's always one of those things that during crazy times, if we focus on what we can take away from it, or what's the bigger picture, or what have we been missing? So as I read the questions today, I'm going to answer the question, but I'm also going to answer, have we been missing something? Is there a blind spot about this question? Is there a higher purpose? Is there a reason why we're looking at it? And the first one that was given before we had our show was this question about what's going to happen with gas prices. And so in this reading, I'll pull a few cards on it. I also will be using the runes. So for everybody thank you for everyone who's been watching me rune things. The question is, what's going to happen with gas prices? But the blind spot is, what have we been missing about gas price manipulation? So I'm going to start with this question, and let's see what we get. I do have a vision that came in when I first looked at this question. And the vision that I got was our fearless leader throwing eggs at us. And it represents kind of the mindset of, the person that we're talking about. But it also represents how things have been handled, like gas prices, manipulation there. Gas prices, what I see, the throwing of the eggs, was when everyone was upset about egg prices. And so they brought in a bunch of eggs from other countries, and they thought, well, you know what? this will quiet everybody up. This will be this will handle it. The people will be happy because now eggs are less. And I think that part of this has to do with the same mindset with gas prices. Like, we're going to see them being brought down. My vision was they're going to be brought down just like eggs were thrown at us. But at what price? I mean, if it's being artificially brought down, eventually there's a bill to pay on that. So that was kind of the vision that I got with that. And it's kind of the theme that I have for the questions going forward. So let me pull just a couple more cards to see if I get anything else. And then I'll have Candy go into the questions that we're getting now in the comments. And thank you, everybody, for putting your questions in. So I get the Queen of Swords when it comes to gas prices. And I think there is a truth that's going to come out about it. This is a queen that cuts through it. And we'll be able to see as time goes on who benefits from the inflated prices, why gas prices are so easily manipulated, and who's manipulating them. Because she is a thinker and she is analyzing it. And I think we are too. We're going to start saying, why is this happening? Why would we choose as a country to have this as another thing on our plate? And I get the Tower. So I do expect to see prices go up, but I see them being brought back down artificially. So that is what I get on that. And let me take this one down. So Candy, you can put one up. Okay. All right, Candy, go for it. Okay. Mistral Cablewick, thank you for the question. Are we moving the needle of the collective consciousness in the right direction right now? Let's see. Let me see. You know what I'm hearing is that what we're doing today, and when we meet as our collective group to set intentions, that we are moving the needle. And the thing that I'm getting is that we're not feeling it. It's kind of like we feel like I hear raging against the machine, right? Like we're fighting it, but it feels like an uphill battle. So we are moving the needle. There we go. And I'm looking at the Eight of Pentacles here. And I look at all these ideas that this woman has for different things that she can be doing, or different ways in the community that we can be moving the needle. There's a lot of conscious effort to move the needle right now. And just the intention of that. And with that comes the Ace of Wands. And that is using our third eye, our intention, to move the needle individually and collectively. So yes, we are. And I'm glad you asked that, because I think sometimes we can feel like, is this working? And the answer is yes. But for a minute, I'm going to go back, and now that everybody's had a chance to put their word in, I'm going to look at some of the words for the day. And hopefully, Rebecca, you can see us now. Curious, happy, stressed, concerned, anxious, great, grateful, doubtful, tired, hopeful, and blessed, and good. So I think when you consider everything that's going on in the world right now, and that question was, are we making a difference? The fact that we got a lot of positive comments in there shows that what we're doing is working. And if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling stressed, then maybe that's a really good opportunity to look at what we're going to talk about a little bit later, which is, what are our blind spots? And maybe some of these comments are going to help us figure that out. So anyway, okay. All right, Candy. I'm ready for the next one. I like that. Well, we have a worldwide, thank you, Blue Jean, for this one. And thank you for moderating too. In the near future, as some have predicted, will be a major effect on the awakening we are experiencing. So, it's interesting because every reading that I've done lately, at the very end, I seem to get this kind of like this little footnote about ET contact. And so the fact that it's a footnote, I'm wondering when it will be. So let me see. Let me ask the cards. Okay, are we going to have ET contact soon? Well, I get the Four of Wands. People are really wanting it. People are hopeful for it. So I think sometimes that the thought of disclosure is like, oh, people are going to panic, and I think people are excited, waiting, and welcoming of that. Will we get it though? Will we get it? Four of Swords. I think there is a little bit of a waiting period. And I think it may have to do with us being out of this, I don't know, maybe energetic heaviness that we need to like be in a headspace like to recoup. And so I think it is coming, but maybe not right at this second. And let me pull one more card on that. So hello to Joyous Nima. Hello to Kevin Hickman. Hello to Blue Jean and Leo Smiles and Kathleen and Avocado Toast. Okay. The Hanged Man. Okay. It's going to be a little bit. I do think it's going to happen, but I don't see it happening in the near future. I think we've already seen some things in the sky and everything. Maybe more of a sense of hints. I'm hearing the word hints. Like little, like things in the sky that can't be explained. Things that we know is not a meteor shower. Things like along those lines. So that's what I'm getting from that. Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. That's wow. Well, that's part of the clearing of the blind spot a little bit, right? It's going to be a bit, and trust is earned, right? There's going to need to be a re-earning of the trust. And I feel like this next elected leader that we have, I've kind of started recording a little bit on who that will be. The biggest thing that they're going to have to work on is reestablishing trust in the government. So let me pull a little bit on that. I'm going to use the runes this time. And I want to see if the runes can share it. Okay. So I got, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing Mananaz, two N's in this one. And this is about self, mankind, and culture, friends. I think we're still going to be getting information from each other, from maybe online sources. A lot of them are here on YouTube for quite a while longer. So I think it's going to take us a while before we trust in what's coming out of the government. And we're still going to rely. We're never going to go fully back. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. We're never going fully back. We're going to trust but verify. And that is part of this evolution of society. We will never completely say, okay, I see it. So they say it, so it must be true. So it's going to be a little bit, I think it's going to take the next elected administration. Okay, the story about the rescue pilot, a false story. Is it fiction or is the pilot deceased? Okay, Kevin, I pick up on some deception. I'm hearing deception here. Let's see. I hear twofold. Okay. So I get the devil. So I'm going to say that manipulation is the least of it, that it's being used for something else, and I'm not sure what happened to the pilot. Let me see. I do feel justice, and it's interesting, we're getting major arcanas on this. We will eventually know, and there will be justice, but we may not know right now what happened. Internal investigation. There'll be an internal investigation, but yeah, information will start coming out about this that's going to be conflicting. So people are going to start questioning it. So was it 100% fiction? I don't know. But is it true? I don't know. I wouldn't say that either. So there's more to the story. It will come out. So also, I would like to take this. Okay. Disappear. Okay. For entertainment purposes only. Medical stuff. I think there are things that is happening with him that they're, of course, trying to hide from us, but it's treatments, infusions, something new, a treatment that's not available to the rest of us at this point. And he is getting that. So I'll get to this, whatever it looks like. Will we take from the rich and give to the poor? Will they pay taxes? Yeah, there will be. It's interesting because that's a really good big question. Is it Adu? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, but I love the little critter you have on your thing there. There's going to be, I hear, global restructuring, and also for the United States. The income system, I'm getting this information, I'm hearing this information now. Income and taxes will look different. It won't be the way that people won't be paid the same, and we won't pay taxes the same. And I don't know if that means there's some sort of, and I'm hearing modified universal income, modified universal taxation. And I'm seeing it like the United States will create a structure that will be emulated throughout the world. And when we're feeling kind of down on ourselves, when we recuperate from this, and when we find ourselves again, we will start leading the world in some, I'm getting chills, with some really innovative processes, because we will have learned these really hard lessons. And we're going to want to walk away from what no longer serves us. And the distribution of wealth in this country has been one of our blind spots that we're coming to terms with, and how people pay taxes and how they earn money. So, yes, everyone will pay taxes. Income will be different. The whole structure will be different. So, that's what I get. Sorry about my voice, guys. All right, so this is the question about the 6 scientists that have died. Okay. Now, I know on this question, a lot of people think that it has to do with ETs, but I'm picking up something a little different. And I'm just going to put it out there. I just have to say what I get. I think all of them were working perhaps with ET technology in some way, with quantum physics and opening. I'm not sure the right words to use. And it's not timelines isn't the right word. Opening something to do with time. And we probably, if someone tried to explain it to us right now, we wouldn't fully get it. And it is work. They were working on something related to that. And that is why they were removed, is that maybe someone was going to talk about it outside the circle. I don't know. But it's more than just ET. It has something to do with the manipulation of time, space. So something like that, something bigger. And I'm getting a little dizzy. So we may find out about it in the future, but I don't know how much we're going to know about it. And I'm hearing like years in the future, we may learn more about it. I don't know. Does anybody else in the chat, has anybody else in the chat heard anything about that? No, I'm just curious. I'm just getting what I get intuitively. I don't really know much about that. So, all right. Yeah. And okay. May I ask a question, please? How can we prepare water, food, etc.? Do you see this as a shorter thing or a longer? Okay. First thing I'm hearing is there's a lot of fear around this. So the thing that we need to do, this is a card, is walk away from the fear. Faith. Have faith that Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, will provide for us, but we need to be more mindful of what we're doing. Any shortage that you're speaking about here, Tracy, is, I think, and I'm hearing, created by man and short-lived. So what I'm getting is be prepared, but not scared. So I just went to Costco the other day and got a bunch of water, threw it in my spare room. I have some canned goods, and then I'm going to give it to the universe. And that there will be some disruptions. And we can see right now how it's, when you have transportation corridors being shut down and things like that, there's definitely opportunities for there to be that. But it is temporary. And it's really interesting. I pulled a rune on this, and it's the only rune in all of them that is blank. And the blank rune means the rest is left unwritten. So it all depends on our response and how quickly we move through this stage. So I think we're going to be fine. What can we do spiritually to have this timeline move faster to that goal? Avocado toast. Now I want some avocado toast. I'm hearing listen to what you're hearing from your higher self. And when I say that, I know a lot of people are like, my higher self, I can barely just, I don't even know what that means. Take a few minutes in your day. And usually I like to do it, with a cup of coffee in the morning and just say, okay, what can I do today to bring myself and humanity into this higher vibrational timeline? And you may hear something like, make a flower arrangement. And you're going to go, okay, I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. But just you being in that space of creative joy is bringing temperance, which is balancing the negative energy with the positive energy. And I know it doesn't feel like a lot, but it is a lot. When you're in that space of creativity and when you're in that space of doing what you love, you are balancing the heaviness that is so available right now, right? So just it's an inward journey. Speaking of blind spots, what's up? Hey, M. Wallace, good to see you. I'm going to answer this in two parts. And I'm hearing the song, Friendship, Friendship. And that song, I think, is about friendship, but it's unpredicted friendships. I'm almost feeling like we will have this unlikely partnerships in the future. If you could put that back up, Candy. I had that in there just for today because I felt it might come up. I believe in the future, starting in 5, I'm hearing 5 years, when the world has completed this cycle that we're in right now, this is the World card, we will actually work together with Russia. I see us, believe it or not, working more with Russia than with China, but we'll have a much better relationship with China. And I know it doesn't seem believable right now, but when we end this cycle, yes. And there is already things on the moon. I see quite a few of countries working together to put structures up on the moon and more collaboration. I'm hearing collaboration about why we would want to go to the moon. And I'm hearing disclosure, some disclosure about structures that may already be on the moon. So I agree with you, M. Wallace. When I heard we're just circling the moon for funsies one more time, I was like, really? I think there's more to that story, right? I mean, I'm curious in the comments, when you heard that story, what did you think? Did you think there was more to it? Or did you think it was just a money grab? Of course, right now in our current situation, yeah, it's a money grab, but I felt like there's so much more to this story, but it'll unfold once we've completed the cycle. So I don't see this whole rush of putting up a nuclear reactor or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. So thank you. What will happen to the huge companies and their billionaires? Will they go there? Oh, that's a great question. I've seen this where, for any of you that have seen the series Game of Thrones, where that poor woman is made to walk down the town square naked and everybody screams shame at her, that is the vision that I get for these billionaires in the future. I'm not saying they're going to lose all their money, but what good is all that money if you can't go anywhere without people saying shame? So they have all of that money, but it's just become this weight on their back. I think this resilience card is twofold. We are very resilient and we will recover, but they will be burdened with, and that looks like, this dirty money that they have, because they will be alone. And they have participated in the extremes, the extreme way of getting this money. And it's going to get a little hot in the kitchen, and they may want to get out for a while, because the reception in the world is going to be like that woman walking down hearing shame. So, and will they go into their bunkers? Maybe. They've got it looks to me like this is something underground, and they have all their treasures hidden under there, and they can just go down there and be by themselves. But I think it's one of those, I'm hearing karma. There's some karma to it. So thank you. Will the stock market crash? Seems disconnected from the real economy. All right. I had a vision of the stock market. I'm going to pull some cards on it. And the vision of the stock market I had was, when you go to Universal Studios and you see the fake fronts of the stages, where it's just held up by these little wooden beams that hold it up, and yet it looks like a building in the front. I saw that, and I saw one of the pillars, one of the little house fronts fall, and I heard, it's what happens after that matters. So the symbolism on this is that a sector will crash in the market, is what I'm getting on that. And please don't take any stock advice from me. You probably just, would be best to do the opposite of anything I say. So this is not stock advice. It is just an energy around the stock market, that if a sector falls and the market has a hiccup, then we're probably okay. But if the sector falls and the other stage fronts start coming down too, then we're in real trouble. So I guess the clue here is, when you see something take a tumble, does it take everything else with it? And yes, it's very disconnected because it is being propped up like those stage fronts. It's got those beams behind it. It's not real. and it will be shown to be not real in one area. And then the reaction to it is the most important part. So that is what I get on the stock market. Oh, any major hurricanes on the East Coast? I'm hearing one good sized one. And every time I look at hurricanes, the shift in location, and I always get this, it has to do with climate change, of course, a changing current. Let me see. Okay. So have faith that we'll have enough. We'll get notified. There'll be notification in time. So I don't see it being catastrophic because there'll be enough warning about it. The Ace of Swords. There will be some sources that you can go to for truth about it. So make sure, and I'm hearing, all of the FEMA and everything is not, it's been gutted, right? So you're going to have a good source of information that you trust on this. And I know there's some good folks on YouTube right now that are really pretty accurate. So I would say make sure you have a good, reliable source and keep an eye on it, and just be calm, be ready to hunker down if you need to, and stay grounded. Stay grounded. So yes, I feel one, a good size, but it's going to be okay because we will, if you have the right information, it won't be, I don't see like huge catastrophic event. Thank you, Blue Jean. Are we going to have major earth changes affecting where we can live in the future? Yes. But I'm hearing depends on what you mean by the future. So I did a future prediction video, which, by the way, everybody, if you would be so kind to please make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, because a lot of people aren't getting notifications on the videos that I release, and you kind of have to look for it now. There's something funky going on. But I did one where I looked to the future of 10 years and 20 years. And I already saw some of these changes where there's these domes. Like we're starting to use domes. It'll be coming maybe more on our conversation within the next 5 years. And then within the next 10 years, we're going to be using some of these domes to start protecting some areas. And I'm also seeing domes for heat control. And so, yes, but I would say it's not happening tomorrow. So use discernment. If you feel that you are in an area that may be affected by it, I wouldn't say you have to run and scramble right now to, go move. Maybe use some discernment for what is coming, because there will be shifts. But I think it's happening at a pace that if we're smart, we will prepare for it. And we're going to start seeing more inventions that is going to help with these shifts. So. Oh, poor Stephen. I think the blind spot that a lot of people that have surrounded F-45 that have been around him is that they think that they're going to be special in some way. They think that they are going to be the ones that he doesn't do that to. And I think that that is Stephen Miller is going to have that coming. But let's see what the cards want to say on it too. Stephen Miller. And I'm hearing they all get thrown under the bus. Except for the wily one. I'll go into that. So Stephen Miller is, let's just take this card for what it is. He's a fool. He really thought that he would be the one that would have this special, gift to give to someone who never really appreciates anything, and that he would be like the chosen one. And he has had a lot of influence, right? He has had a lot of influence. And I think that he thought that he was special friends, like that nothing would ever happen to him. However, 10 of Swords, he is going to be completely stabbed in the back. And I am seeing a lot of them. I'm seeing a lot of them, except for Susie Wiles. And I did a reading on Susie Wiles probably, 8 months ago, 6 months ago. And it's funny, I think they should call her the wily one. She's not. She's very, and I know she's undergoing cancer treatment, and we never want anybody to be ill and wish her all the best with her physical health. But she is the one that won't be going under the bus. So, but yes, look for Stephen. It's not too far off. Anything, Candy? Did you want me to grab another one? Okay. I saw one. Hang on. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm going to put this one. Thank you, so TX Chick. I'm sure I said that wrong. These AI dentists are not be around long. That's my feeling. Okay, so it's about AI centers, right? I think that's a really interesting read because there's a lot of energy, and I think maybe somebody else asked the question, but when I saw it come up, I feel like there is going to be a big backlash. I'm hearing backlash. I get the Two of Pentacles. The amount of resources that it takes versus the payoff that maybe people that agreed to have these centers in their communities are getting. You're going to hear, I just hear people with their pitchforks and they're screaming, no, that's not what you said. That's not what you promised. You've ruined so the AI centers, I think you're right that they're not going to be something that's going to be continuing in their current state for very long because people are onto it. So good point there. Hegseth. I just heard it. Hegseth. And again, Hegseth thought, oh, bro, I thought we were buddies, right? Yeah. No, nobody is his buddy. And part of the problem is that Hegseth will be taken out because someone needs to be blamed, right? And, he's also kind of out of control, but it's not really the out of control part. It's the need for blame part. So, hey, Seth. Do you see Iranian hackers finding hidden money or accounts worldwide? Will they empty it if they do? Ooh, Reiki nurse. Okay. I'm hearing Qatar. At some point in the future. Do they have it now? At some point in the future. At some point in the future, it will be found. There's a tie to the country, I just said. And hiding something. I think that country may not want to be hiding it forever. So look for that. Something maybe goes haywire. And when that happens, that is maybe when these accounts will become known. So, will they empty them? I'm not sure. Okay. All right, Crazy Celtic Tribe, good to see you. JD, present, once 45 is out. God, he doesn't, I don't. You know, it's so funny because he wanted it for so long. And now I think he's just terrified. But he's already in it. I'm getting the feeling that yes, he will. But for how long? The Fool. Yes, he's another one that thought it would be a great idea to hang with the orange one. How long? The Page of Swords. And I'm being drawn to this book here. And I think it may have something to do with something that's written constitutionally or legally. I think there's going to be some conversations about constitution, legal. So I feel a lot of messaging coming out on this that we may, it's going to be a process of unfolding messages and information and light bulb moments. So yes, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure at the length of time. Okay. Oh. I'm sorry, Wallace and Wallace. There is an energy around him. There is money that will eventually be backing him. But the good news is not enough to really get there. So I do feel on him right now a desire to be this wise king. I think Tucker really does feel, it's interesting, his energy, he feels very wise. And he feels like he's connected to something. I think if you were to, this is so weird, you guys. I think if you were to ask Tucker, he feels like he's connected to a higher source. Like there's been this shift in him, and I don't know, I don't watch him at all, but is Tucker getting into the woo a little bit? Is he a little bit like, I'm connecting with my guides and I see higher, I see I don't know if he would say that to his group, but maybe I see I'm getting answers from a higher source. Look for this little bit of a shift in him, or an emotional, like, I'm feeling this in my heart space and I really want to save humanity. Watch for that. And when that comes, then you'll start seeing him position himself, or money backing or whatever, to be this next voice of that group. So I see, yes, and Moss, I see there's energy around it right now. Sorry. And for all of this is for entertainment purposes only. All of this is just me reading cards, sitting here hanging out. Okay. Hey, Candy. Hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I don't see any other questions. Sorry. Does anyone have any other questions?
Let me take a quick look here and see what we've got. And then I thought we'll do our reading on the, this question was from before. And I think this is a really good question about the economy, because it's going to lead us into, I think, what we want to start with the blind spots. And we're going to have and I hear information incoming, but we already will intuitively know that our economy is not what it appears to be. First of all, we know it hasn't worked for the average person for forever, but it's also manipulated, and has been for quite a while. And here's the manipulation. But we're going to want to be more mindful, and this is for everybody watching, when you're seeing something that feels like it's manipulated, like the stock market or housing prices or something, just watch for it and acknowledge it, so that you're using your intuition to when you might be like, okay, now might be the good time to diversify, or now might be a good time to fill up the gas tank a little bit, or now might be. So I see it like this, up and down and up and down. There'll be an unpredictability to what will be next. But if you read the room, you will kind of be able to get a feel for it and navigate through the end of what is, it's going to be a bumpy year. We already know that. So, okay. Oh, okay. And then we'll do, this will be the final question, and then we'll go into our read together. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I was just shown the scene from Friends. And I think anybody that's seen Friends has seen this, where they're moving the sofa up the stairs and they're going, pivot, 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 pivot. They're all going to try and pivot. But the problem is, the truth is already out there, right? It's already going to be shown, but they're going to be like, oh gosh, I didn't know that. I didn't participate in that. It was that, what, huh? What are you talking about? It's going to be kind of, oh, I just got here. I didn't, a lot of, I'm just, this is something new I'm just hearing about. So I think eventually most of them that participated won't be reelected. And they also won't, I don't know, they won't be taken very seriously. And some of them may choose to step down, because everyone knows that they had a supporting role in what took place. And I kind of get that shame again, that walk of shame. And it happens when we have a new leader. So, all right. So thank you for that question. And let me take that down. So, Candy, I'll have you jump back in. And I'm going to put this question to the two of us to read on. And it is about what we can do with this time that we have now to examine our own blind spots. And here we go, just for funsies. So we're seeing that, the overarching blind spots as a country, right? Right now, the United States, what I'd have to say, is being shown some blind spots of who we thought we were, the land of the free, the home of the brave, the opportunity for all, equal opportunity. And I grew up being taught that and believing that. I had a blind spot. And what's happening now, as painful as it is, even seeing in the global stage, is so important because we now can see how the world has maybe seen us, how we want to shift, and be honest with ourselves. Have we used all this power for good? Have we, and I know right now it's really, really obvious because we're under this crazy regime, but have we really kind of been that way in the past too? So while the crazy plays out, maybe we step away from what is going to be a really crazy next few weeks and say, I'm going to observe, not absorb, and take this time and say, what has my blind spot been? That's easy to say, though. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have Candy here today, thank you, Candy, is because Candy is a Reiki master, and she has some really good coping mechanisms for when we're triggered. And so I think that I'm going to then have Candy speak a little bit to what is your take on how to best move forward with all this energy and managing the blind spots so we don't get freaked out or overloaded.
Exactly. Thanks, Cindy. And one of the things, because some of you on this show today know that I practice Reiki regularly. The foundation of it is for self-care. So just by doing a simple self-care hands-on, because it shifts our system into the rest and digest, out of the fight or flight. And that's when we're in a more of a balanced state. We have greater clarity. We can think clearer. And what that has also shown me to do is to step away from a lot of the information that's being shared on. Oh, and if you don't practice Reiki, hands-on is still just as beneficial. Just a couple of hand placements sitting there or meditating. So for those of you that may meditate. The other thing that I find really helpful is music and movement, dancing or yoga or something like that. But I have put the pause button on. I've done it purposely because I'm tired of the noise. I'm tired of the chatter. There's too much information out there. It's not serving me. And I started to reflect a little. And I looked at, last year we were through February 17th, we were in the year of the snake. We're shedding the old, we're releasing and letting go. And we've moved on February 17th into the year of the fire horse. And that's all about moving forward, galloping in. What you've released, now start building something new. So for me, I've taken on something, to me, it feels very creative. To others, it may not. And it has really consumed me, and it has made me feel happier. I'm enthusiastic about learning this and pursuing it and using it to leverage what I'm doing in my own business. And I'm using it to help build community. So it's the other thing. And I think, Cindy, you had a question talking about, community, or what, when are we going to build back? And I think that was one of my questions, is when are we going to come together? But I think that's really important at this time, that we start getting out there more and connecting with community. I'm doing it more than I have in the last 4 or 5 years. Maybe perhaps COVID put a, sort of a boom on not doing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But, actively have been out connecting, and, coffee meetups, little circles of healing, sharing different types of groups together and talking through things. And it's just been really a wonderful opportunity and wonderful time. And it's really helped. Quite frankly, I've had people say, "What did you think about this?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know that was out there," because I'm just not looking at the stuff anymore, and I'm much more happier. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, I would say engage in whatever kind of practice speaks to you. A simple placement of hands, allowing your body to move towards that rest and digest state, so that body can start to actually feel better and quickly. Does that help?
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that fire horse energy that we, like you were talking about, that we had kind of at the beginnings of it was kind of that inward energetic renewal. And now it's the outward. I think that fire horse is now that outward energy of the creativity and engaging in whatever it is that makes you happy, that raises your vibration, which in turn raises vibrations of the whole planet, really. So do you have a card you want to pull that we can end with, or did you bring cards today?
I did. I do have cards. Well, it was interesting. I pulled one as we were sitting talking, Insight. And I'm going to take this card. This is from the Secret Language of Light. And, turn inward on the insight that you're receiving, the information that especially what feels right to you. Allow yourself to be guided by that internal gut clock, intuition, higher self, that voice within, and have some insight around the information that you're getting, because it means something. It really does mean something when we start to truly pay attention to it. And I feel like even everybody that's in the chat and that was on the show today is probably getting a lot of information right now. It's just sometimes we're sort of stuck in that cycle of repeating and doing the same thing over and over again. And then I got from one of my tarot decks, the Two of Cups. So collaborating together, joining together, doing things, building community, building teams. It felt like very much about what I was just talking about. It was interesting that I got the Two of Cups, because I wanted to talk about, stepping outside of maybe how we've been doing things, and how we've been relating with others and connecting. And maybe it's just time to take it to another level, and using our insight to be able to do that.
Yes, and we do that a monthly group intention for anybody who wants to join, where we meet on Zoom and we set an intention as a group for a month. That's a great way to connect if you're wanting to do something from the comfort of your own home. And I also got attraction, that right now, pay attention to what you're attracting towards you. So that's really, because that's what we're doing right now. We're attracting this new energy. All right, my friend.
Yeah, and it was what you said about the vibration, the frequency. That's, as I'm sure many of you know, that's really important, what we're putting out there, because what we put out there, we just manifest more of, right?
Yeah.
And when we're feeling better and we're feeling more grounded and centered and stable and in that balanced state, people around us will even pick that up. They'll start to feel better.
Exactly.
And that's really, really important. So we want to raise the vibration, because our own vibration has been elevated, and we want the people around us to notice something different, something shifted.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you so much. And then I'm going to please everybody, don't forget to, and if you haven't been to my channel lately, please go back and see maybe the videos that you haven't been getting notified on. So I know a lot of other readers are saying the same thing, but something's up with people getting notifications or being unsubscribed. So please help me out if you would, and make sure that if you get the notifications, that check every once in a while that you're still subscribed, and check out Candy. And I had your banner up here just a minute ago, Candy.
Yeah, I was like thumbs up for your channel.
Yes, and there we go. Yeah, please hit the like button, and thank you to everybody who was here today. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully in our meeting. And if not, I'll see you next time on YouTube. Thank you, Candy, so much. And thank you to everybody in the chat. And thank you, Blue Jean, for moderating. All right, everybody, take care. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.